Speaker. It's a pleasure to follow on from my neighbour and honourable friend from Chichester. I too welcome this bill as it's a clear indicator that after 40 years we are starting to leave the EU in March, and the UK will once again become an independent coastal state responsible for managing its own waters. In my constituency in Newhaven, the fishing industry has been in decline for decades. A once thriving fishing port now sees local fishermen away for long periods, often working for larger fishing fleets, unable to make a living independently. That is the legacy of the CFP. This bill provides a ray of hope to the industry, but be under no illusion. These changes in this bill cannot be negotiated away as part of the Withdrawal Act or future trading relationship arrangements. Failure to secure what's in this bill will confine the UK fishing industry to the annals of history. Now, I welcome many measures in this bill, but particularly the automatic access rights of the EU vessels will be revoked. New powers for the UK to set catch limits, revoking EU powers to set EU quotas for our waters. They're particular highlights for me, but I do have some concerns, and in the short time I have, I just want to raise these with ministers. There is a concern by many that while this bill restores control of our waters, the withdrawal agreement and particularly the future trading relationship paper could override this legislation, and that countries like France and Spain could demand access in future negotiations. Now, in our Northern Ireland Select Committee, we have heard evidence during the fishing inquiry that the UK will remain in the CFP until the 31st of December 2020. But before that, we will be leaving the EU. And I did raise it as an intervention with the Secretary of State to say that we do have concerns that in the annual fisheries negotiation in December 2019, the Minister may be attending, but will he have a say round that table to make sure that our fishing rights aren't overruled in that transition period? It's really important to have clarity, and I welcome if I'm wrong in that case, but we are nervous about it. We'd also like reassurance, as honourable members from South East Cornwall and Banff and Buchan have said, to put the date in the bill for when we will actually be leaving. So we want to see the date of the 31st of December 2020 written in the bill. Yep. We'd also like to see the insertion of an economic link into the bill, so we are clear what we mean by British. The suggestions by Fishing for Leave say that any British vessel must be 60% UK crewed, 60% UK owned, and contain 60% of the catch landed. It's vital to ensure there's compliance with the term British. It's vital that this would deliver the economic benefits to the communities that we've heard so much about this afternoon. And it's essential to avoid multinationals buying up our entitlement. And the final part that I would like reassurances from ministers is on the issue of Northern Ireland. Clauses 9 and 10 in this bill grant powers to the devolved administrations, but there isn't a devolved administration in Northern Ireland, and it could be a while before that is restored. So we would like reassurance that Northern Ireland will have provision while there isn't assembly to be able to carry that out, and the powers will be given to civil servants to be able to prepare them for implementing this while an executive is restored. But just to carry on with the points from the honourable members for Strangford and North Antrim, that the Vosges Agreement, the historical reciprocal arrangements are not in place, that fishermen in Northern Ireland are suffering as a result. And we had the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland in our committee this morning who said it was a matter for DEFRA. So I'm putting this back to the Secretary of State here. We either need to challenge the Republic of Ireland government to open up those fishing waters to fishermen in Northern Ireland, or in this bill we can take back control and say the Republic of Ireland cannot access the UK waters until that dispute is resolved. So I would very much appreciate the Secretary of State or the Minister to comment on that. So I'm grateful if these issues could be looked at and addressed, either at committee stage or at report stage, so that we don't have to put amendments of our own forward. Yeah.